Hello again, and welcome back to the channel. We got a wild one for you today. This is one of the recruitment races for the Highline Diecast and Collectibles Speed Cup Series, which is a league that I'll be partaking in. It happens Thursdays at 9 p.m. I'll put a link for the Discord in the description if you're interested in joining. It might be too late to join for this season, but I'll leave the link in there anyway, and you can see what's up with it. This is 40 laps. There is a massive disparity in iRating in this race. This is a hosted race, so it doesn't matter. But there's people that are over 4,000, and there was somebody with less than 400. So we got all shades of stupid in here. So I've started 7th. And I'm going to stick to my guns on the bottom here. One thing I will say about the Superspeedway and iRacing lately is that it's very, very different from what it used to be. I used to be part of a Superspeedway league. And so basically we just did Daytona and Talladega with like different cars. Instead of changing tracks, we would change cars. And man, the difference in how you race a Superspeedway race now versus then is crazy. Like, you didn't have to push physically. You could just like stay close to the bumper and do a big push without even touching them. But now, I mean, you can just slam them and pretty much get away with it. And I learned that the hard way in doing iRacing's Daytona 500. But right off the bat, lap 2, we've got a caution, so let's take a look at it. Quick disclaimer, I forgot to turn off the setting where iRacing will show you a maximum of 20 cars, so this happened. And he was gone, and we never saw him again. But yeah, this is a case of too many people that can't drive in a straight line trying to do 5 wide, which, again, I'm never a stickler about aggressive driving. But if you can't do it, don't do it. Anyways, this is Tim Branson, who will be in the league with me. He and I coordinated this restart, and we got a pretty big push. So we were able to clear the top line, and then we stayed out in front of them. Like this. Now, one thing I did notice when I was doing the iRacing Daytona 500 was that the high side is harder to make work than it used to be. It's not impossible. You need a group of people that know what they're doing to be able to do it. So in a race like this, where there's not enough people that know what they're doing, it's almost not worth even trying. So there's a lot of single file in this race, but don't worry, there is plenty of action. And see, that's what I mean about the bump drafting too. You can just lay into them and it's usually fine. For this race, I was in the Speed Discord, and I gotta say, there's a bunch of good guys in there. I feel like I'm always a bit nervous when I join a new league because there's some crazy people in certain leagues. There was, when I was doing my Superspeedway league, there was one guy who was especially like a problem, just like, I mean, just using all sorts of nasty language. And not just F-bombs, like racial slurs and all that good stuff. But this group seemed to be pretty smart, sensible group, so I hope we have some fun races over this season. The season's gonna last until like November. It's gonna be a long one. The season kicks off, like I said, July 10th at Atlanta, but the caution comes out for the second time, and we slow down for the pace car. Let's see what happens. I can tell you for a fact this 33 car was a problem all race. I don't remember exactly what his iRating was. And we got more disappearing cars anyway, so we can't really see a good portion of this wreck. But at one point, he was just under caution, unprompted, taking his laps back, and then being like, "Can I get a black flag clear?" So this happened after the caution. Poor Charles Simmer, who will also be in the league, gets just dumped during the caution. One thing I should disclose is that this race had half capacity fuel tanks, so about 18 laps per tank. So I asked Tim what he wanted to do. He said he was going to pit. I slowed down way too much going into the pit, but You'd rather go too slow than too fast, so I guess that's okay. I don't know if pitting was the move here, noting how many cautions there will be and have been. But I stop here right on the sign for the 2 crew. Notice no tires being taken, just fuel. And then I actually wanted to stay behind the 92 here because I wanted to push him. And I could have swore I let him beat me. But, apparently not, and I didn't realize that, so he was telling me to go, and I went. And sadly, that's about the last I see of him. But anyways, we're restarting now, lap 12 or so. This is the bad part of recording the way I do, is I forget what all the lap numbers are. I really ought to write them down, but there's always next race. Sorry for the bad content. Remember to leave a dislike and unsubscribe, thank you very much. That helps me out a ton. We decided to split the middle here, gain some ground. We restarted, I think, like 14th or something like that. Might have been 12th or 10th, I don't know. Something dastardly happens on the low line. I'm not sure how the leader checks up that much, but we make up a ton of ground here. And this 21 car up here gets hung out to dry. So we go from wherever I was, somewhere 10th through 13th, up to 4th in a matter of 1 lap. Not so bad, and I'm comfortable staying here, so I'm just going to chill behind the 22 for a bit. And not a lot happens for a second, so I kind of wanted to have another chat with you about the format of my videos. I race on an ultra-wide monitor, and when I make my videos, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's not in like the standard video size. It's wider. So let me know in the comments if you like that better than the normal video size, if you'd rather it just be the normal video size, or if you didn't even notice until I told you. I just want to make stuff that y'all enjoy, so that's why I want to take y'all's opinions into account. So if you are watching, thank you very much. There's not a lot of you, but if this channel blows up, you'll be able to say, you know, you knew about TJB before it was cool. If it ever is cool, I don't know. I mean, will it ever be cool? Like, by the society standard, we are watching me drive in fake circles. I don't think it'll ever be cool, but, you know, it always feels good to be a fan of something before it gets popular. Here's hoping that I get popular. But after only a lap or 2 or 3 or so of being in single file, your boy gets bored. And I do eventually here make the decision that I would like to take the outside line and see what happens. Now remember, I had said that the outside line is hard to make work, but I don't know if you saw in that last shot while I was yapping about my video, the 55 and the 69 came up with a head of steam. So I knew they were fast enough to do it on the outside, so here's where I decided to finally pull out. The set of 3 cars is going to have to fall back to the rest of the pack, while the 55 and the 69 will hopefully catch up to me, and that's exactly what happens here. Coming out of turn 2, a bit of a squirrely push from the 69, doesn't really line up the way we oughta, but we got no steam to hang for this time. The 22 comes to the outside, and that helps a lot because now, instead of me relying on the 55 for pushing, I can just rely on myself. Makes it even better when the 8 comes to the outside. Well, he's actually the 18. Don't look at the number on the door. There's a different 8. The Kyle Busch 8 is the real 8. So now decisions to be made. Do I stay outside or do I take the spot inside? It's not going to matter because there is a massive wreck behind, and I believe I hold on to 2nd place. The 21 car comes off the bottom and tags the 69 and takes out a lot of cars in the process. Huge hit for the 69 and then the 39 and the 16. 77's involved. There's a lot of cars involved in this wreck. If I had to pick one to be the big one, it's probably this one. Once again, the 42 involved. The 33 also involved again. Ethan Amberg gets around it. The 92 is right there, but he gets around it, it looks like. Leader pits, and now I'm in the lead. So I start us off with, I think this is lap 20 something, and holy smokes, that is the 69 car. Even after editing, I forgot that happened and it scared me, but good news, he got kicked for that move. He was a lap down and just wanted to get his lap back, so he did the Kyle Busch Daytona start, but it did not stand. Either way, caution comes out behind us. Let's see what happened. This is the fourth caution of the race. The 77 looks like he's in the wrong gear. Same with that black and red 30 car on the bottom. And then once again 4 wide. The 48 gets spun low and then high. And smacks the outside wall. Here's a look on board with the 48. Just all of a sudden huge checkup. Tries to go high. Tries to go low. Runs out of room. And then bang! Right to the outside wall. And he disappears. Now, because I am such a nice editor, I've once again switched it to a television camera. As much as I feel like you'll enjoy looking out my front windshield from the lead to see nothing but open road, I assume you'll want to see what's behind me, and I've got no mirror, so this is the best you're gonna get. I pull out in front of the 8/18, probably too far to be honest, but he gives me a break and gives me a push anyway. The outside is not the best way to go at this moment. You can see that outside line dying out. That 14 car is definitely capable, but the people behind him might not be. He decides to leave him out to dry and comes down to the inside. So we're going to stay single file for a little bit. And now I got to think of something to talk about. My friend Tucker and I have been playing House Flipper 2, and it's been a blast. It is a very cozy game in which you buy houses that are run down, you clean them up, remodel them, put furniture in them, and sell them for a profit. And it has been kind of crazy what we did with this one house we just got, where like the bottom was a garage, and then there was a stairway leading to what was basically like the rest of the house. So the kitchen and the living room were like the same room, and then there was just a bathroom and a bedroom sort of kind of attached. So what we decided to do was get rid of the garage and make that the living room and kitchen, and then upstairs is just 2 bedrooms and a bathroom like a normal house would have. Caution comes out, and I can stop stalling with nonsense about other video games. For last place, the 32 down in front of the 22. To cut the last guy in the field off is kind of crazy, but you fight for every position you can get, I guess. Is the 32 the best? No, but we love his heart, and that's what he's here for, is his heart. Anyways, this, I'm almost sure, is we would be restarting on lap 28. So I might have got my laps wrong earlier before, but I'm pretty sure this is 28, because I'm thinking, okay, there's 22 laps left, which means a full tank will almost get me there, and if there's enough cautions, I can get there, and there probably will be enough cautions. That was where my head was at, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna pit now. That way I don't have to pit again. So I stop in. 2 crew. Well, it's not really a crew, it's 1 guy sticking a fuel thing in. I wait for the crew chief to holler at me, and I skedaddle. Easy pit stop, no big deal. Anyways, back to the House Flipper. If you want to see me play games like House Flipper or Rocket League or, you know, whatever other games we decide to play, let me know. Somehow, I end up restarting second. Not really sure how. I guess everybody in front of me was a lap down. I don't know what happened. But the 36 and the 14, remember the 14's one of the good ones, are on the inside, and I'm on the outside, and I am not doing fantastic. I'm losing quite a bit of ground already. But the 5's on the inside too. So the 5 is in the Discord and he's in the league, and he's a very nice guy. So I don't want to be too mean, but what I will say is that he is very hard to follow in a straight line. He is definitely wider than most other cars on the track. But he's up here in third place, so he's doing something right. I mean, the 42's up here, and he's been in like 4 wrecks already, so just goes to show you, you're never really out of it. But for me, there's plenty of time left. I don't mind being hung out on the outside. I've got time to get back up if I have to. So I slowly drift back until I can find a place to chill, which is not yet. I will say, there's a lot of sparks coming out, but don't get me wrong, these cars handled fantastic. Just wherever I wanted the car to be was where the car was. Again, something happened, huge checkup, everybody comes down, and I get all that ground back. I'm going to be side by side with the 42 again. Now, I will say, when the league starts, these races are going to be a lot longer. They're going to be like, I think the Atlanta race is like 100 laps, so they're long. I don't know if I'm interested in posting a video that's that long, but, I mean, if it's full of cautions like this one was, then I don't know, maybe the videos won't be as long as I think they'll be. This one's looking like it's fixing to be about 25 minutes, so I think that's fair for a 40-lap Talladega race that's full of cautions. Huge move to the outside for the 14 and the 5, and I end up following them. And what I said about the 5 being hard to follow in a straight line was not an inference or speculation. It was from experience. I tried my best to like stay with him and be able to push him so he could push the 14 better, but just felt like every time I got close, he like was somewhere else, like right here, all the way down, almost below the apron. The 02 and the 22 get a run on the outside, probably because we had to fall back to the pack, but they're not together right now, so we might be able to get them back here in a second. Now listen for this, I get a run on the 5, and I hear him hit the 14, so I don't go push the 5, so we have a problem. Dang. Let's take a look. Reminder, this is caution number 5, and this marks the 3rd or 4th caution that the 42 has been involved in. And at a different recruitment race in Darlington, this 42 wrecked me. So this is the 2nd time he's wrecked me in 2 races. This is that 8/18 car of Jeremiah Vincent. And look at the seas parting for him. That's amazing. So, the good news, the silver lining, is that we had 1 faster pair, which is crazy because we started with 36 and now we have less than 20 and we had a faster pair. So that's how many people are just dying. But anyways, I come into pit road and I'm already gonna be hurting on this pit stop because not a lot of people are pitting, and I just got in a wreck. So faster pair goes on. I decided to take tires as well because I'm gonna be at the end, so I might as well. And now I definitely for sure guaranteed have enough fuel to finish the race, so I like to not worry about that. Waiting on fuel, and away we go. There's the 92 once more, but not on the track. I don't remember what lap this is, but the important thing to know is that it's 30 something. We get underway. I am 12th or so. It's so hard to tell. I really ought to record them while I race them, but I just feel like I missed too much, and then I gotta sync the replays and stuff. But I went over this in my last video. You don't need to hear it again. Mostly single file, except for 2 people, and myself, of course. And there goes one, and here goes me. I am not having it, so I stick with the 77 here. Going quite slow. I don't know what was my problem here, but ended up getting a pretty big run anyway. So the question is, if I get a good enough run, do I jump to the outside? Well, that question and more will be answered. I didn't want to go now, so I just took the 77 spot. But now I'm behind the 42, so now I really don't know what to do. Love that after 3 different wrecks, this man is in front of me. Huge checkup on the bottom line. '77 is to my outside, but I think now's the time that I would like to switch if I can. Or do I stay on the bottom, and that way I have a way out if a wreck happens right in front of me? Well, this kind of answers my question right here. The entire bottom lane all but stops here right into turn 3, and the outside line obviously takes off. So I think now right here is where I make the decision. If I can get the outside line, I'm taking it. So I'm drafting the 42. I see the 92 up there on the top lane. I could hook up with him. So I make the decision and I go. Is the 92 going to follow the 21 or the 22? Doesn't matter. Big wreck on the outside. The caution comes out, and then a second wreck happens on the inside, and I have to slam on the brakes. Oh! And calmly as ever, we get by. But here's a look at caution number 6. It's my channel, so it's from my perspective. This is me dodging that wreck and then slamming on the brakes for this pile up in front of me. One of the greatest skills I've ever learned is wreck avoidance, and in particular slowing down for a wreck that is in front of you. That's why I stopped racing ARCA, because I don't like that ARCA encourages you to not slow down for wrecks because there's no cautions. When there's cautions and you're guaranteed your position back, it makes it a lot more profitable for you to slow down for the wreck in front of you so that you can see it and then dodge it. I had fun in ARCA while I was doing it, but I just got sick of wrecks I wasn't even involved in ruining my race. But a lot of good cars taken out here, and that brings us to a green-white checkered. Doesn't matter what lap it is. There's 2 left. The 14 of Ethan Amberg is in the lead, and I am directly behind him. And we're going to hope to get that beautiful push and get us out in front before they can make a move on the outside. Sorry, I said the word outside and my dog went nuts. So I brought him outside and I'm back. But we're coming to the back stretch with 2 to go. My plan was to wait till the end of the back stretch or coming out of 4, depending on what was happening behind me. To make my move, because I knew the outside line wasn't great. So if I can do the Jamie McMurray bump draft wiggle thing and hope that I can like side draft him enough just to get around him right at the end, that was my plan. But we're coming to the white flag here. We got 1 lap to go. Not much happening on the outside to deal with at the moment, but that 55 is on the outside, and as we know, he got that huge run before, so he might be able to do it again. Now right here, I kind of do it on accident. I kind of just floated up to the outside, but I said, all right, we're here, might as well run with it. I try to get the side draft, and then I come all the way to the top so he can't side draft me. And then who else but 42, involved in 4 different accidents, including one where he took me out. He is behind me, pushing me to the win at Talladega. Now it's going to be close. He's going to have the shorter distance, and I'm going to have more speed. The 22, can he stay connected? The 21 is close to the 42. He's pushing me more. And that is going to do it. My first win on the channel. That's not true. First win since rebranding the channel. For the few of you watching these videos, thank you so much for doing so. I know you could pick any iRacing creator, and I'm happy you've chosen me to spend 25 minutes with. So let me know in the comments if there's a race you want to see.